In today's episode, I will catch you up on my projects from the last episode, and then I will share some works in progress. Hi, my name is Nadia. I live in Denmark. I'm a knitter, and on this channel it's all about knitting and yarny goodies. Welcome or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I'm wearing my Scrappy Stripes. It's a design by Pia Trans, Traveling Misknits. Her design is originally for stripes, Scrappy Stripes or just plain stripes. I knit mine in a solid color. It's a merino wool yarn from West Wooley in this beautiful, beautiful blue color. It's a hand-dyed yarn and the color is cobalt. I have not weighed this actually, but I know I bought 3 skeins, 100 gram skeins going 400 meters per skein, and I have not used all 3. So less than 3 skeins, and this is a size 3. Normally I'm a size large. I'm measuring approximately 100 centimeters across my bust. So yeah, I knit a size 3 because I have decided to size down. Maybe I should actually have knitted a size 4, but then I feel like this upper part, the yoke, is turning out too big. I have a lot of projects behind me where the yoke constructions, just the garment itself, turned out too big, and that's a shame. So this one I sized down and it's fitting me just perfect. In Pia's design you have tailoring, but I left that out. I just knitted mine straight down because my tummy area is a little bigger than my bust area. So I don't like the clothes to be too tight fitting around my tummy area. It has rolled edging in the neck and also in the sleeves, and actually also here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna unravel the hem. I don't like this rolled hem. I would like to have a ribbing just in the bottom. This rolled hem and this rolled edges, not hem, rolled edges, and this rolled edges under the sleeves I like, but I'm gonna unravel it and do a normal ribbing. Yeah, it's just more my taste. But I like this design. I can for sure recommend the pattern. It was a design by Pia Trans, Traveling Misknits. Check her out. Watch the Scrappy Stripe design on Ravelry because it is a stripy t-shirt design. It's knitted in fingering weight yarn on a loose gauge. She also has one in fingering weight yarn with a little tighter gauge called Scrappy Triangels. I have not knitted that one because I like this gauge. I can't remember the gauge, but I can write it on the screen if I find out. I finished this not long ago, and today in Denmark it is going to be 30 degrees Celsius, very hot. And right now I am very hot, even though it's wool and you should be able to wear wool all the time because it's temperature regulating. I'm hot, but even though if I did not have wool on, I would be hot today. So for you, I'm wearing it. It's been a while, so I have a lot of projects to show you. Maybe I know I did not bring them all. I did not bring my half and half triangles wrap by Purl Soho, but I will put in a picture. I finished it. I got the yarn. This project has haunted me. I ran out of yarn so many times. So it's not in 2 colors only. The first half, the first triangle is in mainly a brown hand-dyed by hippie fibers, and then I had to stripe in other browns, other greens, and eventually I needed to use my second color. And because I did that, or because of my gauge, because I haven't gauge watched, I ran out of my second color also. And then I just got a hold of some yarn, almost, not exactly, but greenish. And I finished up the shawl in that yarn. So it was pre-owned yarn. I bought a 100 gram skein, so I had a lot of leftovers. I finished my shawl. I'm very happy about that. It's a big shawl. The half and half triangles wrap by Purl Soho is a free design. You can go on her webpage and download it, or you can go on her webpage and just read the pattern directly from there. I know she has designed also the half and half triangles wrap with striping. And if I will knit it again, and maybe I will, I think it's going to be the one with the stripes. I love stripes. It motivates me when I'm knitting. So yeah, if I will knit the half and half triangles wrap again, I think it will be a stripy version. So maybe you will see that here in the future. You never know. But I didn't bring it. I can't stand the thought of wearing it. Maybe I will take a B-roll and put it in here of me wearing it, but it's so hot and it's a very big shawl. It's almost like a blanket. I could use it as a blanket in the sofa if I wanted to. But yeah, it didn't finish in winter, so when it's getting colder in Denmark, when the fall and the winter hits, I think I know I will get wear out of it. Last time I showed you that I was working on these socks. A DK pair of simply vanilla socks. I knitted them in Drops yarn, Drops Fiesta. The green color is called Herb Garden and the contrast color is Fog. It almost looks like a hand-dyed yarn, but it is not. Now I can't remember how many stitches and what needle I used because it's so many months ago that I knitted this. Sorry for that, but I will put it on the screen. It was a test. I have not knitted DK socks before, and this is for my husband, and he is a a European size 44, 45, and yeah, but you can see the stitch numbers on the screen and which needle I used. This was a very quick knit. I talked about that last time also. It just flies off the needles, I would say that. I hate when people say that, but this one did. It flew off my needles. It doesn't take very long to knit DK socks, and I would like to knit more. But when I finished this pair, and he has worn them, I don't know how many times I have washed them. A few times. He had one comment. They are a little bit thicker than my other socks, Nadia. And I must tell him then that yes, they are. They are actually twice as thick in the yarn as the other ones. So it's not his favorite pair, and that's sad because I would like to knit him more DK socks. I will of course knit him one more pair in yarn, DK yarn. I have bought a skein in Aarhus recently when I attended a yarn festival there, and I will knit that for him. And if he is not wearing that pair that much either, maybe I will not knit him a lot of DK socks in the future. We will see. So far, this yarn held up just beautiful. I don't know if it's the yarn or he has been stuck in something, or it's one of my ends going on the outside and not the inside. I don't know, but there's a little something here. Otherwise, I think it looks very nice. No felting, no wearing through these beautiful socks. So I finished them, and a lot of other socks, but the scrappy socks last time I think I have not even cast them on yet. I talked about a scrappy pair of socks for my son in a black and brown grayish color. I finished those and he loves them, and he has worn them a lot. And before starting filming today, I searched his room and I could not find them. Then I searched my laundry room and I could not find them. So where he exactly put them, I don't know. So again, I will put in a picture. I hope he has them still, because I love these socks. They made me happy to knit. I think they are beautiful. And it's funny because it's not a colorful sock. It's earth tones and black. But yeah, I just love those socks and I think they are so beautiful. And I love scrappy socks. The 2 stripe scrappy socks, and I'm going to knit more. Actually, I have planned for it's not scrappy because it's 2 new balls of yarn. But when I was in Aarhus for the yarn festival, I bought these 2 Avetta classic from Filcolana on a sale, because I just thought these 2 colors were so beautiful together and it would make a beautiful pair of stripy socks. Not scrappy, but stripy, as they were scrappy. So this will be on my needles soon. We are leaving for a holiday. We are going to Turkey for 14 days. And in Turkey right now, it's also 30 degrees or more. And I'm not gonna knit sweaters and big projects. I'm gonna knit socks, scarves, gnomes, small projects, because my hands get sweaty. You know, sand, sweat, sunscreen, all that. Not a good combi in a mohair sweater or big wool sweater. So this is one of my projects in the future. It's gonna be a stripy pair of socks for my husband, I think. Maybe there will be some leftovers for my son also. You never know. Yeah, it will be interesting to know if I can get 2 pairs of socks out of this for both of the boys in the house. We will see. I'll get back to that. Yes, and then I finished another pair of socks also a long time ago. But yeah, it's been a while since I've sat down and recorded for you. Maybe you know this design. Otherwise, I can tell you it's a design called the Color Palette Socks. Now I can't remember the designer's name. I will write it on the screen. But it's a free design on Ravelry. And it's a very popular design. I think it's knitted up a lot. In Denmark, we had a knit-along going on, and I have been thinking about this pattern for years. And then this knit-along came on, and I thought, why not? So I chose the yarn, the leftover yarn from my shellography shawl. And then I followed the pattern, but again, I don't think actually, because the pattern is one size as I remember, and it's more stitches than I'm used to. I'm used to casting on 60. Did I do that for this one? Yes, I cast on 60 stitches for this one, and I'm sure that the pattern says more than 60 stitches, so I reduced to 60. First modification. I knit the rounds, the 15 rounds of the colors all the way down, but not the last color. It's shorter. I only was able to do 10 rounds of the color on the toe, because otherwise they would be too big. And on the way down, I kind of had the feeling that they will be too big. So the contrast stripe, this white stripe, is in the pattern 4 rounds. I only did 3 rounds. Yeah, the heel I modified to my stitch count, but otherwise, as the pattern describes, twisted knit stitches all the way, rounded toe. No, is it a rounded toe, star toe? I don't know what do you call this toe, but you can see the increases, the lines. But it is the toe described in the pattern. I can't remember if the pattern says you need to twist the knit stitches on the bottom of the foot also, but you can see I did not do that. I just knitted the plain knit stitch on the bottom of the foot, because maybe I should turn it around. Yeah, because I do not like to walk on anything else but stockinette stitch. So yeah, color palette socks, and I love the colors. Let me show you the yarn. As I told you, it was left over from my shawl. It's West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. Not all of them, but almost all of them. And it's going 400 meters per 100 gram or 437 yards. And I have these 4 colors in West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply. It's a sock yarn. It's made in England, I think. Then I have this leftover yarn for the contrasting stripes and heel and cuff. It's Sandnes Sisu. I think it's long-lasting sock yarn too. And then I just had another leftover. I combined with this West Yorkshire Spinners. It's from a Danish shop called Kit Couture, and I got this in a little kit. They only sell kits at Kit Couture, and this sock yarn I had in a Mother's Day kit. So I had a little left over, and I still have. So here is leftovers, scraps for lots of socks or gnomes. But yeah, that was it for finished socks. I have a sock on my needle. Maybe I should show you that now, because that's not an interesting project. So I will not talk very much about it. Just quickly show you. I said yes to knitting a pair of socks for my husband's little sister's boyfriend. And it was my husband's aunt asking me. She does not knit socks, I do. And she would like to gift this boyfriend a pair of socks. So she asked me, could you knit them if I buy the yarn? And I said, of course I can. I love to knit socks. For me, I'm a process knitter. I care about getting the finished garment or the finished socks, but it's not something I'm obsessed about. I love the knitting. I love the process of knitting. So she came a few weeks later with 2 balls of black sock yarn. And this brand I do not know. I know the brand, but I did not knit with it before. It's Friends Sock Wool by Hubie. In the color black, of course. When I saw the 2 balls of black sock yarn in her bag, I just thought to myself, oh my God, I did not tell her about the rules. I had no imagination that he would be a boring type of guy wanting or dreaming about a pair of socks in blue, socks in black. So I did not say anything. I just said thank you, and then I will most likely never knit him a pair of socks again. I finished the first one, and I immediately cast it on for the second one, so that I would not forget about the project. I'm counting my rounds with this little beautiful ring counter. In Danish it's called a strikkefisk. I don't know if there's an English name for this, but I'm counting 10 rounds, and then I'm putting in a light bulb stitch marker. And that way my number 2 sock will get identical with my number 1 sock. This project I hope I will finish the coming week before we leave for Turkey, because I have no interest in bringing it. And this bag I would like to put in another sock yarn, maybe this one, and bring with me to Turkey. No more socks. I finished the gnome I was talking about last time also. The Wavy Gnome by Sarah Schira. And the Wavy Gnome is from the book Gnomes of Grimblewood. Here she is. I call her my Valentine gnome. And this is heavily inspired by an Instagram account called GMA Taught Me. You can go to her profile on Instagram. I will link it down below. She knits quite a lot of gnomes. This one is knitted in scrap yarn. The hat is, I know it's a hobby yarn also. The unicorn, hand-dyed. This one is something from Drops. Maybe it's an alpaca. And the nose and the beard is not sock yarn. It's 100% wool yarn. But it's because I thought she did not need a white beard. I think she would be beautiful with this beige, grayish beard. And the body, the wavy gnome. Gnarley, the wavy gnome, has waves. That's why he's a wavy gnome. But my body is not with waves. I just knitted in stockinette, used the stitch count and the pattern, but omitted the waves to make her look like my inspiration. So yeah, now she is finished and can be a boyfriend to Nori as planned for. So these two I have right here behind me on the shelf with my plants, and I am planning to knit more gnomes. Now I can't remember, is it Gnarley? I don't know. I have a plan for another gnome, but in between Gnarley and the other gnome that I planned for, Sarah Schira, I did not mention that, did I? Of course, these gnomes I knit is designed by Sarah Schira. The book is by Sarah Schira, and on Instagram she is Imagined Landscapes. But in between this gnome and my next gnome, Sarah released a mystery gnome called Professor Fungi. The deadline for uploading photos and so on was May 6th, maybe, the 6th of May. I did not finish yet, but I am so close. I chose a color palette very, very similar to the one she has chosen for her in the pattern. The first clues were all these little things like nose, arms, accessories, feet, stuff like that. Let us put them back here. And here you can see my progress. And now it's a very clear where the inspiration came from because of her colors. I don't know the English name of this fungus. In Danish it's called fluesvamp. But yeah, this is the body. And you can see there's a short row shaping. So actually this is the face and this is the back of the gnome. So we will attach nose and arms here and fill up the body with stuffing. And I am on the widest point of the hat right now. I need to figure out something with this plastic or carbon board to make the head stand out, and then I will have to do increases now. Yeah, I knitted this Professor Fungi in scrap yarn and new yarn. I had this Drops Fable sock yarn in my stash. I don't know what the white color is, also sock yarn. Perfect colors for the body and the nose and arms. And then I was at a yarn festival in Vejle here in Denmark, where I bought these two colors for the hat and also the body. So yeah, very happy with the result. Need to finish this very soon. The last 2 months actually I have been focusing on my whips, and I have been doing that because I had an itch to cast on 2 new projects. And then I looked around and I think I had 10 whips. And I said to myself, no, now you finish some of your 10 whips. You keep your 2 itching projects nearby. You can look at them. It's your motivation. So I did that. Almost for 2 months, I did not cast on. I just dreamed about it. And he was one of my whips. So yeah, you can see I'm almost finished. So next time I will show you Professor Fungi, gnome, and he will be finished. And maybe I have a new gnome on my needles. Gnomes are so funny. It's a little project. It could be a scrappy project. It is what you wish for. This one was a combination of scraps and new yarn. That's also because minis are perfect for gnome knitting. But yeah, I just love knitting gnomes. They are such a little cute project, and I like to decorate my home with the gnomes, so win-win. I just need one more finished object or project to show you, and that's my Camiscarf. It's also a project I was working on the last time, and I have finished it, and I just love it so much. Here is half of it. Backside here. It's a little 1 skein project. Can you see it if I do like this? It's almost used up 100 grams of yarn. That is why they call it a 1 skein project. I knit this in La Bien-Aimée yarn, merino cash. Now I don't know if I pronounce this correctly, but the color is Tangiopaya. I will write it on the screen. Merino cash merino from La Bien-Aimée, and the color Tangiopaya. So soft, really soft yarn. And this is a very beautiful scarf in a very beautiful color, bright color. Now I can't see myself, but yeah, you just put it around your neck like this twice and let it be. I love it. It's very hot right now, so I'm gonna take it off. But in the springtime, and also when it's getting colder in the fall, I'll get a lot of use out of this. And I just think it brightens up everything with this beautiful color. I bought the yarn with this project in mind. As I talked about last time, unfortunately it's a Danish design only, but there is so many 1 skein projects and 1 skein scarves out there. So I don't think it will be a problem for you to find a similar one with an English pattern. But yes, I finished it, and I bought new yarn also in Aarhus to make a new one, actually 2 new ones. So let me show you the yarn. This is going to be another Camiscarf. The color is called Ursula, and it's a Malabrico yarn. And the Malabrico yarn is called Mechita. Malabrico Melchita. It's also fingering weight, and it's going 400 and where is it? Yeah, 420 yards or 384 meters per 100 gram. And yeah, the color is Ursula. I just think it is so beautiful. So beautiful, and very soft. And it is not cash merino, I think it's pure merino. Does it say that here? Maybe here? Yeah. 100% superwash merino wool. And 100% going to be a Camiscarf. And this could be also very likely go with me to Turkey. I could knit a scarf, or I could start a scarf. I could start a sock, maybe 2 socks and 1 scarf, and I think it would be enough for 14 days in the heat. So yeah, this was one of my purchases from Aarhus Festival, Yarn Festival. And then I bought in another store a commercial yarn from Sandnes yarn or Sandnes garn, the alpaca silk yarn. It's also fingering weight, 50 gram balls, so I bought 2 of those. The color is, I don't have the name of the color, but I have the numbers, 6063. It's very soft. Alpaca silk, of course it is soft. And I thought this could be a beautiful Camiscarf too, in a solid color. But yeah, it's solid color projects are just not that interesting compared to hand-dyed project. So I will knit it, but I will start with this one, and maybe during the winter I can knit this one. I don't know, but it's so soft. It is 70% baby alpaca and 30% mulberry silk, produced in Norway, and 50 gram is running 200 meters. Very, very soft. Yes, so these are also projects going on my needles very soon. I just have these 2 motivation projects to talk about as the last 2 things. In the last 2 months, as I told you, I have been focusing on finishing up some whips. I did. This one was one of them. I finished a pair of socks. I also focused on this cardigan during the last 2 months. It's a cardigan that I knit in Tilia and Avetta, also from Filcolana. Both in the color light truffle. As you can see, Avetta, and this is Tilia from Filcolana. I keep my cardigan in this plastic ball because I'm on the sleeves. I'm on the last sleeve. And when I'm knitting sleeves around, and all the time I have to twist the cardigan on my body, then I just twist the ball. It's getting tangled up and stuff like that, so it's a little trick. Keep the body in the ball while knitting the sleeves. It's cardigan in stockinette stitch on the body, and the sleeves are in half fisherman's rib. Last time I showed this to my Danish viewers, I lost some stitches on my sleeve and I panicked. I tried to pick them up, but it did not. I was not 100% successful, but it's okay. I actually can't see now where it is, so it is okay. Yeah, but here it is. I don't know how much of this you can see, but it is a cardigan with sleeves in half fisherman's rib, and the rest of the body is in stockinette stitch. I put the sleeves on hold. I have reached the point in the pattern where the designer says that I should do ribbing. And I'm on my way. I'm very close to reaching that point on the second sleeve. And then I will put it on, try it on tubing also. And I imagine that I will do the button band and wash it and block it before finishing the sleeves, because I would like them to be the perfect length, not too short, not too long. So yeah, that's the plan with this one. This big baby, but it's woolen and silk mohair, and it's not something I would like to knit on right now in the heat, because yeah, hot, very hot. Very soon this will be finished also, and it's very sure that I'm not bringing this to Turkey with me. It's very much too hot, and also a big project to pack and bring in the luggage. So yeah. Now I can talk to you about my motivation projects. And the reason why one of my motivation projects is still a motivating project is that it's also a cardigan. It is from the book by Kodoma, Veronica Lindberg, and her book is called Knits to Wear. And the cardigan is this one. I think it's just called Daily Stripes. I can link it in the description box below. And I bought the yarn in the original colors. So I bought the Sandness Double Sunday and 2 different kinds of mohair. Oh. So the Sandness Double Sunday, this dark blue one is knit in Sandness Garn Double Sunday in the color 5581 Sailor in the Dark. And this is a color Sandness is not producing anymore. So it was a little, actually it was a kind of a struggle for me to get a hold of this yarn. And it is so black. It's so deep blue, and I will call it a bluish black. And then the mohair that she paired this very blue yarn with, it's more blue than navy blue. It's really black blue. It is a Især silk mohair in the color 100. And as you can see, it is not the same color. And online I saw that too, and I tried different other mohairs, but they did not work out. But even though that it is not the same color, when you knit it up, it's like the silk mohair just blends in beautifully. And the others I tried did not do that. You could see the silk mohair so badly. It was giving a light color to the dark, and now I did not want that. I wanted the cardigan to be exactly like she did in the book. So I bought the original yarn. Double Sunday Sailor Black, Især silk mohair, color 100. And for the stripe, contrasting color, also Double Sunday in the color Whipped Cream. It's the color 1012 Whipped Cream. And together with that, she paired it with a mohair, silk mohair from Tilia, from Filcolana, Tilia, in the color 101. Yeah, so this is my motivation project number 1. And yeah, you can see I actually did knit something on it, and it is because this is a kind of a swatch. I did swatch to get gauge with these 2 colors, and then I needed to swatch these 2 colors to see if it was a perfect match. And of course it was. And what did I learn from this? Going to buy another mohair because price and stuff like that. I just learned to trust the designer. If Veronica Kotovakiga has chosen Især silk mohair color 100, it's because it's a perfect match. Trust the designer. That's the little tip from me. That's my motivation project. I'm not bringing it. I think it would be a project for fall. I need to finish some other projects, a gnome and cardigan, and yeah, before I can knit on this one. And then I had another motivation project, and it was because, now I said I did not have to show you anything else, but I do. I finished my granny stripe blanket. I still have a few ends to tie knots on and cut, but I finished crocheting on this big boy. I'm not gonna show you in full size, but it's very heavy and it's very big and it's very colorful. And this is I have crocheted a year long, and many years I have been crocheting on that blanket. I finally finished it, and the motivation to finish that blanket was that I would like to cast on a new blanket, knitted blanket. And in 2 months I almost did not do that. I cast on for a swatch. I made a swatch, and it's a garter blanket like the Cozy Comfort Throw, but I did not buy the pattern because I know to knit garter stitch. So I made the swatch, counted the stitches, cast on what I would like to have for a blanket in the width of approximately 140 centimeters. And I did that yesterday. So this is how far along I am. I'm using 1 strand of hand-dyed scrap yarn and 1 strand of thin wool yarn. It's super soft from the brand Holst garn here in Denmark, but it's thin wool yarn. Yeah, so these two and a lot of other scrap hand-dyed yarns are going to be my new garter stitch blanket, like the Cozy Comfort Throw. This is going to be my sofa project, and it will last me years, I think. Maybe I will finish it this year, I don't know. I love garter stitch. I also love to crochet granny stripes, but I just did not do it very often. But it's going to live in my sofa, or besides my sofa, and I will knit on it when I do not like to or wish to knit on other things. And right now it's making me happy, and it's motivating me also to finish up projects in beautiful hand-dyed yarn, so that I can get the precious scraps to be put into my blanket. Yeah, I think I went through all the things that I wanted to talk to you about. Thank you so very much for being here and liking and subscribing and commenting. If you have any questions, if I forgot to put something in the description box, please write it in a comment. I will read and answer all comments. I will also give them a little heart. Yeah, I just think it's so enjoyable to read comments. Have a nice summer and take care and knit a lot. Bye bye.